So in South Africa, we have what we call load shedding. This is basically the process where the government switches off the electricity at any given time, right? So you could be cooking, you could be working, you could be washing your laundry, you could be ironing, you could be watching TV, whatever you're doing. The government can at any given time disconnect your electricity and switch it off. Now, a lot of us have become so reliant on electricity. We use it to see because it provides light. We see where we're going, we see where we're coming from. We use electricity to cook, right? You use it for heat. You can't cook without electricity unless you have a gas stove. And what I've recently learned is even if you have a gas stove, you actually need the electricity to ignite to ignite the flame in the first place. So electricity has become quite important to us, and when it becomes taken away from you, you realize that I've been so reliant on this one thing to the point that I can't live without it, or life is incredibly difficult and almost impossible without it. And with no matter how long we've had load shedding in South Africa, a lot of us still struggle with continuing when load shedding hits. And I want to compare load shedding to people in our lives. I want to compare load shedding to things that we rely and we depend on, either as a source of direction, where we see it as what gives us hope, direction, light in our darkness. There's many things that we've been using as crutches. There's many things that we've been leaning on that can be taken away at any time. And we need to learn to understand that you cannot rely on something or someone. People change. Situations change, circumstances change. Things that were once in your favor will not necessarily always be in your favor. You need to understand that the only consistent person, the only consistent and reliable and continuously faithful and loyal person is God, and God alone. He is the only one who does not rely or depend on Eskom's load shedding schedule. Does not depend on the government to provide the services that we need. We need to stop relying so much on the electricity. We need to stop relying on whatever it is that is acting as a source of energy, acting as a source of whatever we want to call it in our lives. Now, guys, electricity can be taken away from us at any given time, and you would have nothing to do about it. You can complain, you can shout, you can strike, it's still going to happen. They can give you a schedule, still you're never going to be prepared, and you never get used to it, no matter how many times it may happen. People come and go, seasons come and go, circumstances come and go. There is a time for everything under the sun. What you need to understand is just like this load shedding, where the electricity comes and goes as they please, as they deem fit, for as long as they want, whenever they want. Sometimes you're sleeping, sometimes you're awake. You need to allow yourself to always have control of whatever situations happen. And yes, there are some situations that seem like you don't have control. But I need you to understand that even though you may not have control necessarily, you have control of how you respond to it. So either way, you maintain control. Don't ever allow the absence of electricity to stop you from cooking or having your meal. Get yourself a gas stove so that there's electricity or there's no electricity, you will eat. Get yourself lights, these heat lights that use batteries or that use solar energy. Get yourself an alternative so that whatever you need to get done must still get done. Don't get held back by the absence of specific people or specific circumstances or whatever. People come and go. Circumstances come and go. Whatever is favoring you today is not necessarily guaranteed to favor you tomorrow. Change is so constant. It's the only thing that's constant. But if you can allow yourself to, to get to a point of, or to get to a place where you remain consistent, or you remain constant in the way that you want to lead your life and the expectations that you have for yourself, then the absence of electricity doesn't stop you. because you've made provision for that. You've made a plan for that. You've made sure that if I don't have this thing, then I'll make sure that I have this, just so that I can still get what I need to get done. Don't allow anything to hold you back. Electricity will come, it will go. That doesn't mean your life must end. That doesn't mean that you can't breathe anymore. That doesn't mean, yes, you don't like that there's electricity, but what can you do to bring it back? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.